Hello, in this video, we will be seeing how to find the intersection between two integer arrays and return the output with unique integers in the resultant array that intersect between these two inputs that we receive. One input will be nums1 and another will be nums2, and the resultant array will be unique intersection of these two arrays that we receive. We will be building a solution in JavaScript while also computing the time complexity and space complexity of the solution that we will be building. Now, to achieve a solution, what we can do here is use a data structure. So in this case, I will be using a map data structure to reach my solution. And what I will be doing is I will traverse the nums1 array from start to end, and as I encounter the integers within my map that I am keeping a track of via a key value pair, I will store the value within the array. So I will go in my map. I will say, okay, I have found this 1 here. I will say 1 against 1. I will set a value of 1 itself. Then I will find 2. For 2 also I will set a value of 1. This is going to be my scene check that I will be maintaining within my map. And then I find 2. 2 is already there in the map. It just updates the value to 1 that exists. Same for 1 as well. Once I build this map, now with the help of my additional map, I will try to make sure that I am only getting unique intersecting elements from my two integer arrays that I have received. So I have first step traversed the nums1 array. Now I will go through my nums2 array and I will keep on checking each integer that I get. Let's say I got 2 here. I will compare this 2 and try to see if it exists in my map with a value of 1. If it exists in my map with a value of 1, I will put it in my result array. And then I will update my map value against 2 from 1 to 0, indicating that I have already considered it and put it in my result array after I found it matching between the two arrays that I have received. Same way I will go to the next one, which is 2 here. I will again check, hey, is this 2 existing in my map with a value of 1? Right now the value is 0, so I will just skip it. And that's pretty much it. I will go from start to end in my nums2 array as well. So considering the length of my first array is n and the second array is m, I traverse through both n and m to reach a solution. And I take additional help from this map data structure that I have used here. And this is the result I am left with. And that's pretty much it in terms of implementation. Now let's convert this into code and see how it looks. So we said that we will be using a data structure map. So I will just say let scene is equal to new map. This map is going to be keeping track of elements from my nums1 array that I have, and I will be setting a value of 1 against the elements that I encounter. And then I will have my result here, which needs to have unique intersecting integers that I find. And in the end, I'm just going to return whatever result I have with me. Now, after the initializations, we said we will first iterate through the nums1 array that we have received. So I will just say for let num of nums1, whatever number I see, I will just say scene.set that number with 1. So I will update my scene check in my data structure of a map with this initial value of 1, so that I will be able to use this as a check later on when I go through my nums2 array. After I set, then I will go through my nums2 array now. So I will just say num of nums2 now. After the setting part, I will say if the map that I have created in my previous iteration dot get the value of this number from my nums2 array that I have is equal to 1, because I am saying that if the element exists in my first array, against that I will set a value of 1 to indicate that this has not yet been picked up in my result. And if I find it, I will just say result dot push this specific number, which in this case was 2, and we pushed 2 in a result. And after we put 2 in the result, we have to make sure we update this tracker, because what will happen is otherwise I will see 2 again and it will be still there in my map with a value of 1 if I don't update it, and it will try to push 2 twice in my result, which is not something we are looking for. We want the result to be unique from the intersection of these two arrays. So to make sure that we don't add it again in a result, I will just say scene.set num comma 0. So if I encounter the element again, I will not be putting it in my result. And that's pretty much it in terms of implementation that we have here. And in terms of the time complexity, to go through the first nums1 list that we have, the time complexity will be bigger of n, and to go through the second list that we have, the time complexity will be bigger of m. Now the overall time complexity considering both of this will be bigger of m plus n, because we have to go through both the inputs that we have received. And for this scene, the time complexity is going to be bigger of 1. So every time you are going to do a set here, the time complexity is going to be bigger of 1, and every time you try to check here, that also it's going to be bigger of 1. So bigger of 1 plus bigger of n will become bigger of n itself, and bigger of m plus bigger of 1 will again become bigger of m itself. So that's why it is bigger of m plus n in terms of average time complexity. And in terms of the space complexity that is going to be required is going to be bigger of n, only because we are just saying for the first array, whatever you find, put it in the map. So if you have unique n number of elements in your first array, the size that you will be filling your map with is going to be big of n, and that's why that's the only space that is going to be required, because for the result we just push the data and return it, and we are not putting from the nums2 array within our map. We're just doing checks here, and that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.